one's out finally. This is Dave's 2021 LCI 2 F56 JCW MINI. I'm going to show you around it. It's a System 3 Plus, so we've got HK pillars with the Audison tweeter push fit into there, Audison mid-ranges, Audison underseats, sound deadening on the underseat enclosures and in the doors. We've got an Audison f8.9 Forza amplifier, so we've got around 130 watts per channel, and then we're bridging on the mid bass. We've got about 250 there. They're all run fully active, so we send new cables to the tweeters. We use the original cables for the underseats and the doors. And then we've got an APBX 10 AS2, which is Audison's active sub box, and we've lifted the boot floor up to stage 2. So if you've got a JCW or effectively a non-GP3, most of you will have a two-stage floor. For the 10 and the 8 from Audison, even though we've left the feet off this one and inverted it, so we've done it slightly differently, you still have to raise that boot floor to the level 2. So there is a way that you could keep the boot floor at level 1, but you need to modify the floor and then retrim it. So which we've done before, gains you about 2 inches of boot space, or just under. No one that we've ever really... We did that in a sort of GP3 that didn't have a level 2 floor, but no one we've ever really worked for with a JCW has had any complaints with raising the boot floor up to that sort of second stage. You still get loads of space underneath the floor because the sub box takes up about just under half of the floor space underneath there. So yeah, let's take a look around. We'll get a sound clip so you can hear it. This one came through in a very similar spec to what, say, the GP3s come with, which is just entry stereo. There's a lot of minis out there at the moment with completely entry stereos, maybe just from chip shortage gate or whichever, but there's a lot of base spec stuff, and some of which come through that have been specifically spec'd as so because they know they're going to come here and have this done. So yeah, not much to see in an OEM installation like this, but I'll do my best to eke out a few details for you. In the next mini video we're going to break down the system specs that we do. We're revising a few things at the moment. As times move on, certain things get out-specced and certain new products turn up, and we're working on a System 4 Plus and things like that. So we'll cover all of them, so you've got all the information that you need before dropping us an email. That said, if you do get in touch, we send you over basically a breakdown of all the steps of what is done at each stage and things like that, with pricing and stuff like that. We don't cover it in the comments of the video because we just protect the client's interests, you know. Obviously we won't do that. So yeah, if you're interested in the cost of something like this, just drop us an email and we'll yeah, send you a breakdown. Let's have a look at this one. It's a lovely spec, this. So that's it, you've just heard it. I can't tell you the difference between the stock system, like the stock bass system, so just the mid-ranges in the doors, and the level 3 plus. It's ridiculous, the difference. So you've just heard it. There's plenty of bass in there. We've changed the way that we mount the subwoofer underneath the subfloor in the boot. We've turned it upside down effectively, because the way the APBX 10 works is it kind of needs the airspace to be clear all around the bottom of it when you mount it face down. in the Mini there's two walls that sort of block off the two sides, and you've got the two open sides left. So we turned it upside down, raised the floor slightly, and now the sub's completely clear to play into the boot space and into the car. So yeah, we're at about minus 18 dB on the sub. We've had to turn it right down. Subs energize these things like mad. So yeah, hopefully you like the way it sounds. You see the bass controller down there in the center console, no holes drilled or anything like that. This thing can be taken back to complete stock. That gives you about 6 dB, 3 either side of 0. So not tons of control, but enough to modify the bass within certain tracks, you know, early 80s sort of rock and stuff like that. You can turn it up a bit. Newer pop music, you can turn it down a bit, things like that. So yeah, all OEM functionality retained. All the boxes which are here. So that's the sort of kit. Strange really, a stack of a tower of kit like that, yet when you look in the car you can't see anything. But all those boxes contain, you know, half of the original stuff, so the car can go completely back to stock if you wanted to. Anyway, I'm Carl, this is Studio Incar, with another Mini out on the road with one of our systems. So we've killed off another bad sounding Mini. Alright, have a nice weekend, take it easy.